Hi everyone, it's Laurel here, and I had a video request for a video using Trim the Tree stamp set by Fawn. So I was really happy to make this video because I've been wanting to use these stamps for a while. I've also got the coordinating dies that go with the stamp set. Again, this is Trim the Tree and Trim the Tree dies from Fawn. And I've gone ahead and stamped a bunch of images and colored them off camera because I color really slow because I'm really not that good at it, so I would have bored you to tears. I colored using some watercolor ink tints pencils. And this is the kit that I have. It's the 24 kit, but they also have a 12 kit, and they even have one that's bigger than this that you can pick up. I'll link it all up on my blog. And that top tree I colored with the Wink of Stella green glitter pen, and I am absolutely in love with that tree. I have no words. It's just so pretty, and it's so glittery, and it's so much fun. So I'm taking all of the coordinating dies, and I'm going to adhere them down to my paper. And I am using watercolor paper from Hero Arts, and I'm going to adhere them down with some washi tape. I just kind of stick it on the back of my finger a little bit just to remove some of the stickiness. I've never had any problems with washi tape tearing on paper, but better safe than sorry. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere all the die cuts down with the coordinating images, and I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine. Now I use the Cuttlebug, but any die cutting machine that you have will work. These are great steel dies, and they will run through any machine. I also like the dies because there's some hearts and some stars and some circles, and you can die cut that without stamping with patterned paper or just solid color cardstock, and you can get some really cute images. And that's what my paper looked like when I was done die cutting. And I'm going to I just think it's funny to look at all the holes that's left from the negative space of the watercolor paper. Anyway, totally off subject. So now I'm going to show you. Sometimes I don't line up my die cuts perfectly, as you can see here with the base of the tree there. So I just take some scissors. I am using the honeybee scissors. I like them because they have no stick blades, and I'm just trimming it down to fit, and then nobody will know the difference. All right, so back to the card. I'm going to just I die cut a lot of images at one time, especially from the stamp set, and I'll save them in the stamp set envelope. And I'm using the Avery L stamp storage pockets, and I will save all of the die cuts that I don't use in there, and I can use them for a later project. Now I'm using some Encore metallic silver ink from Sukaneko because I want to run some strings of lights on the tree. You can do some heat embossing, but I am very lazy, and so I went and found a metallic silver and a metallic gold ink that would work just fine, and I can totally omit the heat embossing with silver embossing powder. So that's awesome. So I am stamping directly onto the tree, and it really shines with the metallic silver against the glittery gold tree. I mean green tree. It's really pretty in real life. I wish I could capture it better for you. But once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and arrange the little images on my tree. I promised my son I would use the gingerbread people, so I am going to find a way to use the gingerbread people on the tree. So I just kind of lay it out on the tree however I like it. I don't do any sketches beforehand for any of the cards or projects that I make. I'm just not that disciplined of a person. I just kind of like to wing it as I go. And so I'm just going to figure out how I like the images on the tree, and then I'm just going to adhere them down. And I adhere them down with the Tombow multi-liner glue off camera. Now I'm taking some metallic gold ink from Encore, and I'm stamping in with that solid ornament image just on the spaces on the tree, just to fill in all the spaces. And then I decided I want to have a gold bow at the top, so I went ahead and stamped it and die cut it with a coordinating die, and I'm going to adhere it to the top of the tree again with the Tombow multi-liner glue. I like that glue because it does give you some liberty to kind of scooch your images around a little bit until you get them where you want them to be, because sometimes I put stuff down and I don't like it, and I just kind of move it around. So I really enjoy that glue. Now this is from the Peace, Love, and Joy collection. From Fawn pattern paper. This is the 12 by 12 kit, but they also have a 6 by 6 kit. And I'm going to take the Say Cheese Polaroids image from the Say Cheese stamp set from Fawn, and I'm going to ink it up with some Memento Tuxedo black ink. I always have that ink out on my craft desk. Always. And then I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, and I'm using a self-healing mat. Do not cut over your Tim Holtz craft mat if that's what you're using, because you will cut right through it. Ask me how I know. And I just found some pattern paper that I thought coordinated well with it. I have no idea where that pattern paper is from. And I'm going to adhere that down into the Polaroid picture just to get a nice little background. And then I'm going to kind of have the tree popping up from the Polaroid. So I'm just going to pull it up from the bottom there. and line it up inside the Polaroid frame. And then I'm going to adhere that down with some foam dimension. I use foam dimensions from Best Creations because you get like 1,000,000,000 squares, and they also come in circles for under $2. So I am a very frugal, aka cheap person. So I think that's a really great investment for some really good dimension for your projects. Okay, now I'm going to take this sentiment. I'm going to do Happy Christmas. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I'm not ashamed to say so. I read all the books before I had children. I love the books. I love the movies. I love Harry Potter. So there. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment Happy Christmas. I have said Happy Christmas every year ever since I watched the Harry Potter shows. I'm just a dork. I don't know what else to tell you. So I've gone ahead and stamped that down. And now I'm going to take some of the die cuts, and I store them all in the Avery Elle pocket with my stamp set and the dies. And I'm going to find an image. I'm just going through, pulling out some of the images, and I'm going to find something that kind of works there. I thought there was a big gap in between the tree and the sentiment, so I wanted to put something there. And I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm going to go with the present. I'm going to put it on the left-hand side because I didn't want it to be so heavy on the right because of that gingerbread man down there at the bottom. So I'm going to adhere that up with a small foam dimension. And then I cut some more pattern paper from that same kit, Peace, Love, and Joy. And I'm just going to adhere my Polaroid frame down onto the pattern paper. And then I'm just going to adhere it down onto some Nina Solar white cardstock that I trimmed down to fit the card. And that is it. I had so much fun making this card. I love all the little pieces. I love the stamp set. I love the die cuts. It's fun to just sit and color a bunch of images, just mindlessly coloring in front of the TV, which is what I did here. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.